Like many contributors on YouTube, I find inspiration on other channels. After watching a video converting a Hot Wheels car for tabletop game Gaslands Refueled, I had to find out more about this game. Flipping through the pages made me nostalgic for when I was a kid watching Mad Max, The Road Warrior, and that third movie.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
With the recent films being such box office hits, I was riding the wave of resurgence of this game, originally released in 2017. I was flooded with ideas for new teams, new sponsors. I couldn't wait to get started, and everywhere I went, I was hunting for cars. I plan to do more videos for Gaslands, showing my progress on both the models and the learning of the game. So stay tuned and... Episode 61. Gaslands. May I introduce Hellenor? As I mentioned recently in my last video, I got into Gasland Refueled and was starting a championship with my son and friends, so it was time to build a team. I've always been a fan of the muscle cars of the past and knew I wanted that look for my team. One of my favorite Hot Wheel designs was Riveted. I loved the homage to the early 70s Mustang and wanted that to be my first team car. After the usual prep and primer, I started with the body and began with a base coat of Pro Acryl Caramel Brown. My inspiration for this model is from the original 1974 Gone in 60 Seconds, which featured the famous yellow Mustang. I followed up the base coat with layers of Pro Acryl Yellow Ochre. I find yellow is not the easiest of colors for me to paint, but I was overall happy with the coverage. I'm pretty sure it was my thinning mixture and not the paint, but I did not get as smooth a results with the yellow ochre as I was hoping. Like I've said before, I love the old muscle cars from the 60s and 70s. Something about the look and the sound of one rolling down the street. Ugh. When I first saw the riveted casting, it was around the time of the movie Grindhouse was being released. Say what you want about the movie, but I loved it, and the cars from Death Proof were awesome. Another reason I liked the idea of a muscle car team was that in movies like Mad Max, it's the only era of vehicles that apparently seem to be available to scavenge in the apocalypse. So we're not supposed to survive past the 80s. Does that make this the Tangent universe? After the body was ready, I moved on to the chassis and started the tanks that were set behind the driver. Since my sponsor is Idris, it's all about the vroom vroom. So I used Army Painter Crystal Blue and Lava Orange to create the NOS tanks. Working on the interior of the car, I wanted to use similar browns and tans to complement the exterior yellows. For this, I went with Army Painter Amber Skin for the outer parts and Onyx Skin for the inner parts of both seats and the dash. With the engine, I decided I wanted to use my Army Painter speed paints, so I used Broadsword Silver for the base and Polished Silver for the scoop and highlights. I had forgotten how well these speed paint line of metallics work, and while they're not right for every application, when they are, they work well. After the engine was done to my satisfaction, I started using Pro-Acryl Satin Black for the tires and other parts of the chassis before moving on to the body. Since I can't freehand for shit, I use the lines of the body as a guide to add some satin black to the sides and back window. One difference from previous builds is that I am waiting to add the weapons and extras until after the body was ready. I plan to build the model up as I'm building up the game version and essentially want a what you see is what you get representation on the table. In the next video, I'll be working on the other half of the team and we'll be using what I learned from this project, both painting and video. It may change slightly, but I want to keep with the Grindhouse theme, and this will be a bit of a twist. That's all I'm saying for now, but stay tuned to my social media for more hints. I used more satin black for the base color of the passenger side armor plate as well as the rear panel, which I came back later with some pro-acryl steel. Time to start working on the wheels, and for the rear rims I chose pro-acryl dark silver. There were a lot of nooks and crannies in the rims, so I used a dabbing style application and managed to get pretty good coverage. Moving on to the front rims, I decided to use pro-acryl magnesium to offset the silver on the rears. I continued to apply the magnesium to different areas of the engine as highlights, in addition to painting the rear exhaust. With the body done, it was time to add the firepower. I chose a side mount front facing machine gun as it was within my budget and I had build spaces for it. I used more dark silver for the main gunmetal and my usual pro-acryl bright gold for the casings and copper for the bullets. With the weapon in place, it was time to clean up my slop and sharpen the lines, so more yellow ochre. Once the cleanup was done, I grabbed some more of the steel and added scrapes, scratches, scuffs, and other assorted signs of battle damage before I complete everything with an Army Painter dark tone wash. May I present to you Hellenor, the first member of Team Grindhouse. I loved how this turned out and cannot wait for the first race to set her loose on the track. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'm eager to hear your feedback of both the project and the video. If you enjoyed my little video, you can ring my bell, oh my, and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Blue Sky Social, and Patreon for pics and news between episodes. And whether you're getting ready to shoot it out in the Gaslands or magic missile the darkness, remember, they ain't gonna paint themselves.